This is the news at 6 on NBC6 HD.
If you haven't been outside today, go outside. It's been an absolutely perfect day. The weather is just so cool, so crisp.
A great way to end the week. Of course, yesterday was perfect for the big bowl game. And today, as we head into the weekend, we're all expecting to have another great South Florida winter day. Paul Diano keeping an eye on everything that's going on outdoors. Hi, Paul. Hey. All week, we've been paying tribute to a very special person here at NBC6, Tony Segreto. Coming up, travel way back in time with us as we follow Tony Segreto's broadcast career from the very beginning. Hear another WTVJ longtimer, Bob Mayer, reflect on Tony's 40-year career.
News without Tony Segreto is going to be a little bit difficult to comprehend, and there'll be a little bit of a credibility factor there. But do this for me, Tony. Don't get a radio show.
A very difficult moment for all of us is finally here. Today is January 9th, 2009, and after more than 40 years at WTVJ, this is Tony Segreto's last day. For most of my life, Tony has been my colleague and my friend. How do you begin to summarize the achievements of a man who spent a lifetime giving to this community?
He was 18 years old when he first came in here.
Then sports director Bernie Rosen brought Tony in as an intern right out of Curly High.
Martin Luther King Jr. was killed tonight in Memphis, Tennessee.
But now it's on to Chicago, and let's win there. Thank you.
The year was 1968. WTVJ, then Channel 4, was still shooting film. Tony eventually took his first baby steps on the air.
National Football League owners will try and come to a decision today on...
Rosen assigned Tony to anchor a sports segment on the noon news.
And he said to me, "You're going on today." And I said, "What?"
That's the noon sports. Lee returns right after this.
It was the first time Tony and I got to work together on the same show.
That was his first time doing anything on air. He was a little nervous, but he did a pretty good job.
Tony Segreto has that report live from the Dolphins camp at Biscayne College.
That's right, Ralph.
Soon, Tony was doing sports reporting on the 6 o'clock Ralph Rennick Report.
News Weekend, Update 3.
His first big anchoring break, and mine, came in the mid-'70s on weekend newscasts.
Hi, I'm Tony Segreto, and in sports, Miami exploded today by...
News Weekend.
2 years later, we celebrated an historic night together.
In case you've missed it, this is July 4th, 1976, and our country has been celebrating its birthday all day.
Hi, I'm Tony Segreto. I'm glad you told me it was the 4th of July, Bob.
Tony's always been a blast to work with. He loves his job as much today as he did when he did his first interview with Jesse Owens.
Here I was, like 18, 19 years old, just out of high school, and I'm interviewing one of the greatest Olympians of all time.
In cycling, a gold medal.
Miami has a #1 draft pick.
We are at the largest fish market in the world. Baltimore, this is Tony Segreto, Channel 4 Sports.
Tony's covered every sporting event from Super Bowls to Olympics, running the torch for the '96 games in Atlanta. He was there the night of the tragic Olympic Park bombing.
How does it make you feel? And can you still do it? Yes, we can still do it.
From national leaders to leading sports figures.
So that's my next big fight. Mr. Tooth Decay, how are your teeth?
They're fine, they're fine.
He drew out the best in anyone he interviewed.
That's a deal, Tony.
Thank you.
All right.
He has a great demeanor on the air, and people like him. They're comfortable with him.
Tony has been honored many times and has donated so much of his time to countless community and charity events. He hosted young Dan Marino's original TV show and Dan's retirement.
We go back, all of the good years, the perfect season, and the back-to-back Super Bowl wins. And the thing that I admire most about Tony is his versatility. I mean, the guy was an unbelievable sports anchor. And then he went on to news. How many people could do that?
This is 4 News Now with Tony Segreto.
Good evening and welcome to 4 News Now.
In 1991, Tony was given the rare chance of becoming a news anchor while continuing as our main sports anchor, kicking off a brand new show. Then one night changed his career forever.
They are experiencing heavy rains in the Fort Lauderdale area.
Hurricane Andrew, broadcasting from a concrete bunker in the station's old downtown studios, the only station still on the air. Tony, Kelly Craig, and Brian Norcross remained on the air throughout the night as a lifeline to the community.
Not only did he know what to say, he knew how to say it. Even I, who had never been through a major hurricane before, was put at ease by Tony because I knew the guy knew what he was talking about.
I saw before my eyes as this unbelievable event was hitting our community, as this community was looking for leadership. Tony's credibility and respect was a rock in the middle of that storm. A lot of people did great work, but Tony was the rock. Tony had the credibility and the consistency. Tony was the person that people turned to see if everything was okay, and if it wasn't okay, to assure them that they were going to get through this together.
Tony had earned his stripes as a premier news anchor.
Don, can you hear me? Tell him to call us if we have to. Can you hear us?
Calmness under fire, that is Tony Segreto.
Pick up the phone.
He just maintained his cool all the time. I don't know how he did it. I mean, for 40 years.
No matter what the story or who he was anchoring with.
He had an ability to ad-lib that you rarely find in news anchors. And so anything that happened, he just rolled with the punches. You could never throw Tony off. He was just great.
Tony has always exemplified the spirit of South Florida.
I know that Tony and I will have a relationship forever. He is part of my family, and I know that I am part of his family.
Tony is family, not only to NBC6, but to all of South Florida. And his legacy is not just length of service, it is the quality of that service.
The greatest satisfaction is that we have been able to communicate, and hopefully, over my period of time, communicate in such a way that we've created a trust and we've created a sense of integrity and passion that we bring to our job every day.
Taking off the mic for the last time will be difficult for Tony and for all of us.
It's my home. It's going to be a day of, I hope, satisfaction, of, in my mind, saying, a job well done, Anthony.